old gods he's slain. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slain. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slain. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a
hey, there we go. Let's put on our bow tie. Got our chat there. First game is hello. I'll wait for more people to join before I hop into anything. Definitely running a little late. I had to do a debrief after the school day. Just kind of took up some time. I prioritize my job over advanced wars. Imagine if I'm like, sorry. I gotta go? Who cares about the kids? I have a video game to talk about. I mean, the kids understand. Penguins need me. This is Secret Ways. It's the map. I believe it's a live play map. Man, those comm towers are close together. These shoals are just begging for an artillery to stand on. Protected by a mountain. There's no airport, right? Yeah, I see no airport. So it's kind of like whoever gets their artillery to one of these tiles first, be happy. Control the other person's comm tower. It's hard to strike at with this mountain here, the sea tile here, and all the forests blocking the way. The position of the comm towers makes Javier less viable? Maybe. I mean, it's both good and bad for Javier. It should be easier for Javier to get both comm towers, but he could also have them both denied. It's kind of like Caustic Finale. The bases were... It's like Caustic Finale if the bases are farther apart, which is good. But the comm towers are in the middle instead. I imagine you still have plenty of artillery shenanigans. Like up here, huge choke points, so artillery will be amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're already covering the road or the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assault with the artillery. You think you prefer Caustic Finale to this map as a hot take? I doubt that's a hot take, but we also haven't seen this map in action, really. Ah. You thought Sami would be banned. Well, you know, it's not Caustic Finale. Sami does look very good on this map, though. Like, here's the HQ. Here's a base you're producing infantry from. 4 or 5. It almost after one turn, you're threatening to take the HQ. Caustic Finale is very well liked. It's an ancient map. I bet Caustic Finale is older than some of the members of the community. Caustic Finale was published in 2008. I was still in high school in 2008. Blame me. Long time ago. Tier 1 Bumbolt should basically beat everyone. I mean, Bumbolt's definitely good in Tier 1. There's a higher income, so Hawke should be happier. I think he is banned on Caustic now. It was made by Wizard of Akasha. He has been around a long time. Somehow it only has 227 ratings. I don't know how people haven't been rating this more. Okay, we can start. Squishy is a penguin? Here we go. Pop, pop, pop. People going for their bases first. It makes sense. I don't think... I mean, you could... I guess you could technically go for this city first. Boy, would that be a spicy play. It might mean you get something over here before it can be interrupted. Maybe this city? Couldn't be this city because... So I would not suggest that. Definitely going for the neutral bases first. And we'll see if anyone rushes the center here. So we have the tank built by Jedak. And this is in live play. Okay. Yellow Comet heading towards this comm tower while the tank's moving up here. It will be able to control these properties because there isn't a tank built yet. And on build, it only covers up to here. Okay. Fritan is just gonna... This is kind of an interesting situation. I would not put my infantry here because... I mean, Yellow Comet can sit on the city and strike you and not be too scared. We'll see if that's what happens. I'm also not quite sure what this tank is doing. I guess he's trying to deny this city. I would have preferred to have it controlling it over here. Because if you can get both comm towers and the other opponent doesn't get any, then you'll be super smooth sailing. So Jedak didn't do it, but you could definitely attack here. I mean, you're not too worried about the attack from the road against your tank on the city as Von Bolt. They'll be disrupting their economy, and from there you just go down to your own city, which is very easy to cover. You bet whoever builds the first artillery will win. I mean, artillery do look very good on this map. Okay, so this is a guaranteed comm tower capture, but Fritan also let this comm tower go, so they're just gonna kind of handshake them. We have our first artillery. Tank decides to go and take this first strike. And we have a tank artillery built over here. God. One striketh. 10 is able to clear this up. And I assume we're going to have a tank first strike from the city onto the forest. It's pretty good. Tank attack from Q. Three gathering together. There isn't a tank. I think it's built over here right now. Which is okay. The recon can't actually reach yet. And here we can see this city is just one tile too far. So if Jedak wants, can just like have tank go here and smack, and then have this one come up and go for another engagement, which is exactly what we see. And then over here, Yellow Comet's looking pretty nice. The artillery is going to be a real pain, but it's not quite ready to turn the tide of the battle. Well, the artillery down here does look like it's going to be able to at least deny this property. We'll see if it's able to actually secure it. Okay, so this is a little weird. I feel like this tank really should have gone over to the left to back up all of these infantry moving forward into the recon range. This tank doesn't actually cover them. Again, this artillery is kind of awkward. It's not actually defending these infantry. It is defending this capture. There is something with it there. Ooh. Well, I was kind of retreating from the center, which might give Yellow Comet a chance to get both comm towers. Really good attacks over here, all outside of the tank range. Yeah. I think that does just secure both comm towers for Yellow Comet. That's pretty nasty. Because that's going to be 30% firepower versus 10% firepower. 30% firepower, I believe, is not quite enough to get a 2-hit KO. Guaranteed. Unbumbled city units. But it's still nice. So, it will mean that if Yellow Comet uses the power, there'll be enough damage. Here, this tank isn't quite covered by this artillery. So these tanks somewhat get in for free-ish. I mean, there's still just going to be first strike and an attack from the HQ, and this is just going to fire on infantry. So it's definitely an ish situation. No tanks over here to support this attack, so all of these infantry are probably going to get cleaned up by these vehicles. This only needs 2 more. Hopefully it's cleared by the 3 health. That might have been a roll, I don't know. So these guys are all getting beaten up. Goes that tank. Here's that first strike. By the 4 goes out to 3. The 7 will be able to finish it, but it's going to be fighting in base range with an HQ to strike from, so not the best place to pick a fight for a couple dice here. Especially when down 2-0 in comm towers. Okay, yeah, 3 tanks to kill 1 tank. On the missile platform. Such is the pain. Poor artillery getting picked on. Although, I mean, it's fairly well covered. Arguably, you don't really want to stay here with this guy, just because... Oh, never mind. There wasn't a tank built here. It was just an infantry. Okay, there's still no support on the left-hand side, so all of these infantry just routed by these 2 vehicles, and now the remaining infantry for Yellow Comet can just take these cities, looking like a very serious threat. Not super sold on Yellow Comet continuing the fight over here, because that's where both tanks got built. A couple dice. Ooh, there's no... This is a pretty nice play. There's no infantry... Oh, yeah, no, there's this capturing infantry. But there was this guy to interrupt, but now he's knocked down to 1, so he can't interrupt. So now, Yellow Comet would have to give up this capture with an infantry. I mean, the tanks can still do it. We have a little breakthrough to hit this artillery. This will cost the tank its life. So... probably not worth it. Because, well, this one doesn't reach, but we get a strike from the city and then a strike from the forest. And this, from the city hit, will just get healed up. Yeah, there's still no vehicle supporting over here. So Yellow Comet's just going to take these cities. Okay, we have 2 sacrifices to do damage and delay this. Recon doesn't even reach next turn. I would prefer to have just not sack those 2 units and try to keep them alive. You could, in this situation, Yellow Comet could definitely let this capture go and just take it back following turns, but it looks like Yellow Comet ran out of time on their turn there. They have 19k in the bank, bunch of units they did not move. did not build. That's very good news for Cobalt Ice. Gets their Ex Machina here. Bam. Whoa. Ex Machina into start the HQ cap. Very, very fortunate for Yellow Comet here. This is a 9 health rather than a 10 health infantry going for this capture. If it was oh, and it gets stunned there. Okay. If it was a full health infantry, then that could have, if it was a full health infantry and there wasn't a magnet built here, that would have just been GG immediately. Formed there, I guess. So Jedak ran out of time again. Get to move everything, but did get to build and save the HQ, so that's what matters. Medium tank can't even kill the recon. Looks like these guys are all going to get cleared out. Yellow Comet is up, oh my gosh, 26 to 16 income. So we can afford to make some really sloppy plays, although it still needs to actually build to spend the money in order to afford these plays. Fritan is got one advantage right now, and that is time. Jedak at 35k, builds a Neo tank. Fence. Just moves. Oh, doesn't get to move everything, but starts moving in here and does build a Neo tank. As I said, a Neo tank to help deal with these medium tanks. Oh. Fritan's able to make a comeback over here due to units not moving. And maybe we'll see this comm tower actually fall. Another Neo tank gets built. Tanks start moving out. Capture going in here. We have some injured artillery marching forward. Another Neo tank and a double base skip. I very much feel for Jedak. I have also had some mighty bad time control problems. Hey, everybody. Well, it wouldn't have been fine if Fritan hadn't stuck more units by the HQ. So, Yellow Comet can stop this capture from going through pretty easily. This Neo tank can just kind of bust in, break this infantry, send a tank in here. Oh, looks like we're going to go for the HQ cap instead. What? There's an artillery right here. Jedak builds a pipe runner. I assume because they think there's no way to stop this HQ cap. Fritan's like, yeah, I can stop it. Fire. Tank attack. Tank, bring an infantry over, build a medium tank. I mean, looks like just a little bit of a running at a time so you don't see the artillery up there, I guess. Jedak deletes the pipe runner. Maybe it was a misclick. It might have been a misclick and it was supposed to be a Neo tank. That's a classic misclick. These medium tanks did move away from this fight, so this might still manage to go through. I mean, Fritan will probably get super. And that will hit here, and then the artillery can clear it. Oh, maybe you're not going to get a super? Medium tank doesn't reach a Neo tank. Some tank strikes down here. Oh. I think there was a get a sacrifice the 7 health tank. Okay, well, you know what? The Pipe Runner was a pretty early GG unit, but it ended up being GG anyway. Hello, everybody. It is live play, so it's very hard to calculate your supers on the fly. So I would always, in those situations, you always play it safe and you go for all the sacrifices you can. You lost your bet. That was a pretty wild game. Running out of time can be quite rough. I have Old Timer be next, but only if they're actually here. I don't see... Oh, you're right there. Alright, Old Timer. We got some end of entropy here. No need for much effort, but would you tell me what you think of the matchup? We thought you might have an opinion. We both thought it was a fun game, so maybe you can enjoy. Yeah, I'm sure we will. So Javier versus Hawke. Sure, we'll have a bunch of moonwalking units. So I would favor Hawke because the artillery plays on this map aren't that great. There's some that you can do, but it's mostly going to be a lot of tank and like infantry and copter fighting on a whole bunch of different fronts. And while Javier can use his power to have a critical turn, Hawke will have a turn that will like affect everything on the map, regardless of if it's currently in a fight. And the other thing is, well, Javier will get his comm tower pretty much for free, and it's very unlikely that he'll lose it. He's also not going to be able to take the other person's comm tower. Now, there are some artillery plays that Javier can do. The idea with Javier is like you use artillery and your opponent can't use it. So Javier can like artillery here and lock this city down. Or like over here to lock this city down. And the opponent can't do the same thing. And then those artillery can be like transitioned to the very heavy infantry fronts. But I would favor Hawke. There's also the problem for Javier is that a lot of the fighting kind of happens on very open terrain. So just having another 10% defense isn't like backbreaking in that regard. Well, I mean, you have to kill the base to take the tower. I mean, yes, if you kill your opponent's base and you don't lose your base, then you've pretty much already won. So the fact that he's also getting the towers a little bit. Anyway, we'll hop into this. In the very early game, Hawke is just going to have a straight up advantage because Javier isn't going to go for this comm tower yet. And you can force infantry fights very early on this map, and then Hawke is just higher statted. We'll be able to tell all of the Fred family units because they will be facing the wrong way. So we'll be able to track them all. The Hawke's agenda is probably early game pressure into like mid game stalling for the super. Like right here, this definitely favors Hawke to just accept this infantry fight. We'll see. Old-timer might not be. Yeah, Old-timer's not going to accept it. So here you accept it because Javier doesn't have the comm tower yet. So you're like, oh, sure, you want to fight infantry to infantry, I'm just up in stats. And then also, buying an early game recon would probably be good. Javier's the one that goes for the recon. Have a tank over here. Interesting choice to attack infantry in the forest rather than interrupting the capture. And now Javier has comm tower. There wasn't really any early game fighting besides this one attack that Hawke took advantage of. So that's good for Javier. And at this point, Hawke would like to have a whole bunch of standing units. Went for this capture. Capture way up here. An Old-timer does have 2 infantry that kind of have nothing else to do than interrupt this. So you just overload the tank. Instead, I would concern myself with these captures because the nice thing that's going for you is there was a double tank by here. So there's not that many reinforcing infantry. So when these get interrupted, they're actually interrupted. Ah, are we? Oh, we can be buffering. It says, am I still here? It's not saying I'm trying to reconnect. You haven't heard anything in the last 90 seconds. Well, if it keeps happening, I can restart the internet. Let me know. So I was saying that you don't really need to worry about interrupting the lab cap so much, just because the other lab isn't in danger of falling and you have to lose both to lose the game. So you can always take this back later. Or you can just have one hit it and cover with the tank. That's fine. I'd be more concerned about interrupting these captures because you can just overload this single tank so that it can't hit all of your infantry that are going for these fights. And because there's been a double tank buy over here, there aren't that many reinforcing infantry to actually go for these captures. So like this one gets interrupted, which is good. And it's effectively free to interrupt this capture too, because this tank is already able to hit infantry. I've got Ethernet. But you know how it goes. Especially with like uploading stuff. I think the ISPs will throttle your connection. That's, I assume, what happens because restarting the router / modem fixes it. Okay. So we have the copter built, which I agree with. Javier is going to have slightly stronger copters because of the extra. Hawke will also have nice copters because he can actually heal them with his powers. We run in here. Some nice swings. Okay. So this tank almost can take a strike here, but this is standing right. Hey, we have an artillery by Hawke. That's an interesting buy. Hawke also didn't get an anti-air over here. I guess it's okay because the copter can't strike anything at this point. And when you're fighting, this is very nice by Javier. When you're fighting against Hawke, it's kind of like fighting Andy. You do want to kill off as many units as possible, rather than get like a bunch of injuries. Tank versus tank. The 7-6 trade looking fine. Ooh, nice art. Okay, this is a pretty good spot for the artillery. I'm not gonna lie. Clear the way. Get a strike from the city. Very nice. This other tank does get involved. We have one of the starting infantry right here at 1 health. Tank comes back. It's pretty important because there's about to be a bunch of tanks flooding into this area. Probably want another tank built here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, maybe not. It doesn't actually cover the city. We'll see. Pop, pop. Oh, I'm going to cover there, though. Okay, yep, copter being really annoying. It forces 2 anti-air buys and then threads the needle between them. Javier goes for the interrupt. We do have the normal power to be used for any specific breakthrough that Javier might want to go for. Normal power, his stats will go to 30-30. Plus 30 attack, plus 30. Bam, bam. So Hawke's very happy about this situation because now this tank isn't going to be able to be killed without popping up power. As long as the tank lives, it can be healed. Now we have the Hawke copter as well. One of the starting infantry surviving right there. This one's surviving. There's 3. Was there only 3 starting ones? Have they all managed to survive? For Hawke, and then we have 1 here. I think they're all alive. Maybe 1 went down for a couple days. Okay. Jumping in, going for the capture. I don't think this quite works for Javier. I think this is very punishable. But it might be that only punishable if Hawke lets this city go. Well, the tower shield will definitely help. The power used. The tank does go down. Oh no, one of the starting infantry gets one-shotted. Smack, smack. Looking pretty pretty nice. Of course, there's just a little bit of extra damage that got dealt there due to the power, but also now Javier's units are very difficult to kill off. Ooh, we are going to go for the black wave. So usually Hawks will go for the super, because if you look at this, it takes 5 bars to get to the normal power, and it's only 4 bars to get to the super, so it's more efficient damage-wise to do 2 for 9 charge rather than 1 for 10. Or 2 for 10 if you use the normal power twice. But if it gives you a nice breakthrough, then you do it, of course. Yeah, I kind of feel like should have just saved for the super. The artillery will do very little damage this turn. I didn't see too many attacks there that would really justify going for the less efficient play, or charge play. Very nicely focusing down the anti-air, but there is a copter chain to also deal with this copter, so it's not... It's just out of range, though. So it's not like completely back-breaking. Lose this anti-air. Okay, so this front looks like it's very close to being broken through. This infantry on the road is going to be just strong enough to stop the tanks from spilling forth. Down here we have some pretty brutal fighting. Yeah, the copter will get to hit tank for effectively free. There's a copter chain here, so this one doesn't really want to fight in that. I'm going to try and somewhat surround this guy. Have another artillery for Hawke. Some spicy choices. Usually you would expect Javier to be the one going for artillery. Oh, this Javier copter's been doing some pretty good harassment. It does look like Cobalt Ice is for this entire area. Uh-oh. We'll see what's built here. This is not a sound wall, of course. Okay, it's a double tank to support this. 2 captures going down for Javier, but it's 9 health units, so it's too slow. Right now, Old Timer is up by 3k income. And, well, I was saying that Hawke tends to go for the super for charge efficiency. Javier tends to go for the normal power for efficiency, because with the normal power, you go from plus 10 to plus 30, but the super only gets you to plus 40 when you have 1 extra comm tower, or when you only have 1 comm tower. So unless that extra 10 stats is like really gonna make it or break it, Javier tends to just stick with using the normal power. Fred Arena. All of the FTA infantry are from the Fred family. There you go. So Javier's holding on to the charge. Definitely going for this capture. And this one is very painful for Old Timer to interrupt this. This one up here, I'm not 100% sure what the game plan is. I guess the This 1 health infantry is stopping this tank from striking from the city, because it's the classic play where the tank is in the way of the unit that would actually like clear it. The tank's standing its own way. That's pretty nice. Yeah, we might hit this anti-air. It's going to be pretty painful as all these tanks will come in. But you'll also be within base range. So we're just going to fall back. Okay. Interrupted that. Ooh, okay. So yeah, this is exactly what you expect Javier to do. Kind of build up as much charge as possible. Then you use the normal power, and you're kind of setting yourself up to be able to access that normal power again next turn. Just get a nice double whammy of 30-30 stats. Okay, pretty strong attack. Recon. This is a pretty nice recon spot. It's stopping a 2-hit combo on either this tank or this anti-air. Okay. Looking pretty good. I'm not super sold on this capture, but I guess that the idea is that Javier is trying to sucker in this anti-air so this tank can hit. Fight over here is looking very nice for Hawke. Pretty soon, if there was one more copter over here, if there can be one coming down shortly, this base would just be dead. The copters would just kind of stand in the way as they attack it. You can use artillery, yeah. They're mainly going to be useless when Javier uses a power. Okay, so you can see Javier's really close to getting another normal power. And the reason why, if you like looked last turn, Javier was like almost completely full in the charge, and now there's like this gap. That's because every time you use a power, the price of all powers go up by 20% of the base. And that's where this gap is coming from. Javier is going for sacrifices, or a sacrifice. That tank, and then here's the second tower shield, so that's the classic back-to-back. It does secure enough damage to clear this. Go for this lab cap, but again, this other lab is still totally fine. So the base getting blocked is pretty scary. The lab getting captured is kind of whatever. There's a lot of units just kind of sitting over here for Hawke, and this is always a danger in mixed base, is when you invest somewhere, but then the fighting doesn't happen over there. You have the medium tank kind of getting spammed out. Hawke has a nice income lead. Here comes the Black Storm, which will be really good. Will injure all the units. Let's see how much damage that did. They're at 107 value. It only heals like a little bit, but there's over 20k in damage, and it also slows down all possible captures, which will give I'm not sure what's going on with some of these tank placements. The medium tanks are still going to get some nice free hits down there. the anti-air has to be like really carefully positioned. This thing is just gonna chill there on the base. I don't think that's safe enough. Because the copter can help clear the way for a tank to then hit it. And then just the copter flooding in will save the base. At this point, it's looking really good for Hawke. Blackstorm is just strong enough. And we have a nice 7k income lead. Look at this anti-air, so boldly standing in tank range. The mech build? Okay. I'm not a huge fan of this medium tank. Not sure what its job is. Also, did the medium tank die over here and I missed it? Oh, did they just join together? They did join together. Oh, okay. It's for cash. Well, that's going to make this base easier to take down. I would focus more on getting copters and tanks over here. Save this base. Because, I mean, if you got a 7k income lead, as long as you're not losing your bases, then you're pretty much good to go. This base is now looking not quite so hot. These infantry being at 8 health, it's mattering quite a bit. Now this capture takes 3 turns. There's more time to interrupt it, and also, of course, less and less money for Javier to play with. Yeah, even goes for the base capture here, but yeah, at 8 health, way easier to deal with, and there's going to be another Hawke power coming pretty soon. So Javier just resigns with the pipe runner. GG. So yeah, the only thing I would change here for Hawke is more aggression in the early game. I do think that Javier is going to be stronger in the mid game with the cheaper power. But if Hawke goes early game aggression to maybe win like 1 or 2 cities and then just hold out until his own super comes online, then the game's just going to swing drastically. Hey yo, Adept. GG, well played. Hello. Oh, this is a team game. Another Steeler guy. Oh, I know this map. This is a map that Deege's in. $110 is better than 121. Sasha. It's a Sasha in a team game. Wow, I'm amazed Sasha's allowed here. What are these COs? We got Sami, Grimm, Nell, Rachel, Sasha, Grit. In Fog. Well, Grit's going to be really nice for a team game. Sasha's going to be absolutely broken in a team game. And keep the order static. Let's try and, I guess, have all of Team A face to the left and Team B can face to the right. Let's do that to try and keep them straight. Seems fair, yeah. Also, This is also in high funds. Oh my gosh. This might be super high funds. How much money are they getting? So, Just a Dude has... No, 4 properties. So this is just high funds. Okay. Well, Sasha will have a harder time, potentially, controlling the powers in high funds because there's just more units to play with. Sami is just so dead. Yeah, there's gonna be so much transporting, but there's only 3 bases, one of which is a lone base on an island with some enemies nearby. And this is going to be a naval map for sure, so Grit is going to be very, very happy. And we already have... We have a rocket from Sami up there. And a copter. So far, Sasha hasn't built anything but infantry, it looks like. The missile buy, I definitely agree with. It's pretty nice. You can lock airports from your little island. Some landers being built. Copters moving out. There's also some forests that the missiles can hide out on defensively. And there's a single comm tower on this map. And all the HQs are really well defended. Sami's going to have a heck of a time getting a victory march. So we'll see. Little Neo tank, I don't know. Yeah. Missile trying to get into position. Looks like Spiffy is going to go for the comm tower. And all Sasha really has to do is just keep fighting and then hitting those market crashes so that only her team really gets powers. Okay, Spiffy is the only one that went for the central area. So while Rachel is not great in... Ooh. The lander with the Neotank got trapped. Rachel's not great in these kind of games because who knows if the missiles will ever hit something that matters. Sonja only gives the plus vision to herself, so oftentimes in team fog games you'll have one Sonja per side and she'll just like make sure to get recons for all of her allies and stuff. They do get to see with her vision. They just don't get her vision bonus from it. Just a Dude is attacking in here. Against Spiffy DC. Well, obviously, and Spiffy DC is attacking Just a Dude. We've got a ton of Sami units just hanging out here, but not enough transportation for them. Spiffy DC got a bomber. It's a really weird place for the lander to go because that's in range and like known in range of this artillery against Grid. We have the first battleship being built. What did the missile just kill? The transport copter. Artillery gets hit, or the Neotank gets hit. Flora Green somehow doesn't quite have the charge even with the transport copter and Neotank. So it might actually get a power off before the market crash. 1, 2. Grimm is pretty good against Sami, so this is an unfortunate matchup for Sami. Just a Dude making the way downtown to Spiffy DC land. tons of transportation problems here. Spiffy DC doesn't try and get to the super. Instead, bam, goes for Lucky Lass. Being kind of discount Nell here. Probably a good idea. I mean, the missiles would probably just hit over here and you'd never know. Flora Green desperately needs to find a target just to get the charge. What is this lander doing? Okay, so another turn of no. Rest in peace, Neo Tank. Okay, now Flora Green has the charge for market crashes. Every player now on Team B gets to make a choice as to whether or not to use the power now or just say goodbye to the charge. Okay, Grimm's doing a great job. You have the Knuckle Duster. So when you use the a power, that does not protect the rest of your charge. So there's going to be 27k left over. Flora Green will still be able to wipe that underneath the active power bar. So it's probably worth it to just go for the super. Because if you go for the super or if you go for the normal power, it still costs 20% more either way. And if you just go for the normal power and it gets wiped, then you're missing out on efficiency. Just the dude uses the super. So let's see these luck rolls. Not a luck roll. That was really unfortunate. This is what I'm talking about, Nell with the false promises. Okay, we do get a one shot on that mech. Is the copter going to attack the anti-air? Aw, come on. Oh, over here. Ah, okay. We get one shot with a tank. A pretty good swing there. So there was some lucky swings. Sasha seems better and better the more you learn. She's really good in team games because she wipes all opponent charge. So Just a Dude does have luck on the defense, so it's pretty daring to go for that bomber strike there. All right, Flora Green, you can wipe the opponent's charge. There's a market crash. And it all goes away. When it's Grimm's turn, we'll see that there's no charge. We have a rocket and a battleship built. This is very unfortunate for Flora Green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, luckily Steeler had the charged wipe, so the battleship can't quite reach the port. But still, those artillery can. As can't these guys reach? Oh, okay. I guess only one can reach them. The market crash should probably have been used after attacking Steeler. So that Steeler doesn't get all of this charge. I think we're going to go after the rocket instead of the battleship. Yeah, we do get the snipe attack off because of that extra charge that went through. Ouch. That was a pretty devastating snipe attack. We have a grit carrier. I don't know if Sami's wanting to use the super or not this turn. I guess Sami's not under the same amount of pressure that Team B is because Sasha's on Sami's team. Medium tank did not. What did Sami build? Oh, well. Just builds an inventory over there. Very gutsy. Okay, so it looks like Spiffy DC is in a ton of trouble at the bottom. And just a dude is holding out at the top. For now, there is some help from Based Dangerously with the fighters. Flora Green does have another market crash available. Probably needed to move that battleship because it's in range of all of that stuff. Also, what's probably happening there is Flora Green isn't watching the replay, because watching the replay in a team game is a real pain. So, I mean, Flora Green should have realized the rocket got absolutely annihilated, but still. Still builds it. It does give Flora Green some more charge. Sasha's fun because you can just day 8 Neotank and Fog. I mean, you can go Neotanks first for sure. You just get really sad if your opponent goes artillery first builds. And it depends on the map. Okay, a bunch of fighters moving out here. The carrier for Le Death Flower gets smacked. Grimm forces be moving in Sami's lands, and there's now a Grimm bomber staring at that base. Just a dude holding out. We have a battleship built to help defend, and Spiffy DC's southern island has been conquered. We'll see if it's possible for Spiffy DC to conquer the northern island in response. It doesn't look like it. You have a missile built by Sasha. Battleship still hasn't moved from the port, which means it's super dead. You have the market crash at the end of the turn this time. We didn't clear all of Spiffy DC's charge. But he's staring at that port in base. So Steelers got a pretty nice lock going on over there. Based Dangerously goes for a victory march. I don't see the targets. What city? Cities? Okay, 4 cities. That's pretty good. Got some infantry. Okay, I'll accept 4 cities for victory march. That's pretty decent. It's no HQ, of course, but you know what? You'll take the money. Bomber comes in. The medium tank was luckily blocking the way for the bomber to reach that anti-air. At this point, it's looking very difficult. Oh, okay, it's actually okay. Luckily for Sami, this infantry can clear this one off the road, and then this anti-air bomber. We have a mega tank, a Grimm mega tank, defending that base. Just a dude moving in on the Grimm's main little island. That's pretty nasty. Grimm could actually die pretty soon, if not safe enough here. PDC is just kind of fighting. there is having a lot of trouble making progress. Okay, the rocket and the missile guy. Oh! Sasha, no, you gotta help your friend. You kill this infantry. Anti-air hits bomber. Oh no. Okay, well that's very bad for Sami. I guess it's okay. This medium tank can kill the tank, and then this infantry can kill this mech. That's still not enough. Yeah, I don't think there's a way through. Nell has a lot of landers, but no super lander. It's true. Okay, Steeler has just been chilling with these artillery clumps. Some battleship out on the sea. I expect like a battleship pretty much every turn from Steeler at this point. Yeah, get another one over here. I'm gonna try and lock down this entire island. Okay, that looks very much GG for this island here. The missile doesn't even cover anti-airs. Space dangerously is. Although it's going to be really tough to ever take this base unless the super comes, because Steeler, the grit player, is going to be able to cover it with battleships and the like. Oh, okay. So the bomber. I thought this bomber was we're gonna have like bomber against anti-air, bomber against anti-air, but that's not what we have. There's still an anti-air alive over there for Sami. Gives hope. Just a dude attacking the Death Flower, which will definitely help Sami try and stabilize on this island, especially with Flora Green also coming in. But these guys are going to get in the way. Kill off units. There's no luck used here. There's also there's no fighter to deal with the Grimm fighter. Yeah, okay, one just got built. Alright, Spiffy DC moving down, killing a battleship. Looking good there, but it is very sad that the bottom island did get taken. Laura Green smacking some units around. Doesn't currently have enough charge for a market crash. So Team B should be able to get some powers off here. The missile has that airport on lock. Soon Flora Green's main island is going to be very siegeable. So he just barely misses out on the power here. Face dangerously. Moving out with a sub. It's a rocket hit. There are some infantry on the Death Flower main island. Currently nothing that's strong enough to actually clear the base of anything other than just infantry. Okay, recon infantry kill off one of these infantry. Anti-air is being spammed, fire is being spammed. That will make it very difficult for just a dude to actually cap this island down. Anti-airs are getting smacked around. Have infantry dropped off. I mean, it's looking very intimidating. But the anti-airs should be able to win the day. But all of this does, of course, just stop any continued aggression over here. Base is being captured, but there's a rocket to interrupt it. Assuming Flora Green wants to interrupt it. Spiffy DC does have a super that can be used. I imagine it's going to hit all... Oh, they're on the same team. So, here, most likely. It's a whole bunch of kind of forward units. Although, there's a black boat there. Okay, so the rocket does interrupt the HQ. In fact, not the HQ, the base. In fact, the base gets cleared completely. Another missile brought down. Guess a bunch of rockets trying to get in range of to fight these grit indirects. And we have the market crash. Clear all of Team B's charge. Very fair way. Lots of indirect fires. Or indirect fire from Steel here. In theory, as the game goes on, it's just going to have like an invincible death fleet. We have a victory march from base dangerously. Okay, takes the harbor there. That's pretty nice. Check these cities. Take that one. That one. Oh, anti-air got built there. 3 attacks. Over here. Join the fighters together. Sub-built. Okay, well, taking this harbor is pretty nice. It's in a very good position to build units and try to lock this base, or even maybe try and lay siege to Steeler's own main island. Although that's definitely a tough task. Oh, and yeah, once units get up here, it's going to be a real pain to deal with them. The carrier's got this locked. As long as there's vision, which currently we have the sub providing. Ooh, very unfortunate. This is like the scariest day of this bomber's life. The fire gets trapped on it. Carrier and an anti-air is built. The base was not actually cleared. Nice missile fire. Have Lady Luck used. Use the fighter on fighter fight. One shot. One shot. One shot. There's not quite enough stuff over here, so that bomber is still going to go down, especially with the carrier being built now. That was some good luck rolls. Biffy DC. Currently down to 18 units. Does have some nice indirects staring at this island of the ongoing fight. Flora Green helps out based dangerously. Clear out these Ledeth Flower units. Ledeth Flower is down to 18 as well. So not looking too happy. And based dangerously is one of the higher income. Actually, Team A in general just has really high income. So this might come down to Steeler versus Team A. And we'll really get to see how powerful a late game grit, who's just been allowed to build up a ton of indirect naval units, can be. Ooh, but the carrier did get hunted down over here by a little army of subs. Base dangerously is back to be able to build a unit there. Do have the Knuckle Duster. So unfortunate. Bomber gets trapped. That bomber should not be alive. Just a dude just getting really lucky that checking the replay in team games is such a chore. Okay. Just a dude being really happy having multiple islands. Does get to kill that bomber. Tank doesn't see the missile. Now that bomber is visible on top of that base, so it should be dead. Not quite. I guess I guess 2 landers is fine because there's only really this one harbor that can be used for dropping units off right now, other than like a bunch of transport copters, which should definitely be on the way as well. But we'll see. 50 DC not giving up this fight. Still ongoing. There's not too many strong units other than the bomber that's on that just a dude land. Flora Green still securing some defenses for base dangerously there, and can go for another market crash, although a unit just got built, so might not see it. Okay, no market crash. Well, actually, just a dude seems to have lost a lot of the supporting units for this island. There is a Steeler battleship off the coast, so we might see that fall. And Steeler's moving in on Flora Green's main island now, with plenty of artillery helping to cover, as well as triple battleship. There is a cruiser on the way as well, but it's not there yet, so this sub is going to get some attacks in. Oh, that very early comm tower capture from Spiffy Dude is being contested at this point. Okay, the Death Flower is down to 15 units. Was able to finally kill that bomber though. Just double mech buy? Then we're going to have some subs coming up to support the Steeler battleship attack. He does have a nice missile lock on that airport. He's able to drop off a tank on the Death Flower's main island. Deletes a unit. I don't know why a unit got deleted. There's no way the unit cap is 42. Spiffy DC. Charging in here, you have a cruiser. The anti-air does get cleared and the base starts being captured. Might be the end of Just a Dude's northern island, which is surprising because Just a Dude's one of the richest players. So you would have expected some big buys to protect that. Flora Green now trying to defend both islands against an incoming Steeler invading force. They have a ton of money for that power, over 100k. Built mega tank. Ooh. If there weren't the missiles covering this, then this fighter play would be absolutely amazing. The missiles should be able to clear that. Just lots and lots of artillery fire every turn here, although 1, 2, 3, 4. This base is going to fall. There's nothing over here for Flora Green that can interrupt it. It means Steeler will have a base on Flora Green's main island. Base dangerously used the normal power and is able to interrupt this capture for now. Coming to Just a Dude's defense. The Death Flowers back to 18 units. is going to be able to go for a nice sub first strike over here. Subs fight each other just like tanks fight each other. It's the same kind of damage ratios. Subs can't interfere with your invasion due to the fighter. Okay, Death Flowers continuing to build from that port. Some tank strikes. Got the missile that was on the HQ and in the minimum range of the carrier. Death Flowers still holding on there though. He does have a battleship over here. Did it fire or was it just built? Gonna go down. Rest in peace, battleship. We knew you well. If he DCs invading forces, looking pretty good. There isn't another fighter up there from base dangerously. Subs are working. Okay. Again, there wasn't a unit in range to interrupt that cap, so Steeler is going to get one of those bases. Charge does get wiped again. And Steeler's own main island is starting to have its own siege to deal with pretty soon here. Well, having the increased indirect range is definitely helpful. Poor Mega Tank gets shelled by all of the artillery. Oh, the carrier is able to shoot that fighter. Will definitely help clear up spaces to save this base. We have another double time. Clear the base, and just a dude goes before Spiffy DC. So we'll probably see a Mega Tank built. The Death Flower should be able to stabilize here just barely. Carrier does make it into these nice, safe reefs. Rocket does get to fire in the Mega Tank, but doesn't do too much damage. Bomber Strike knocks it down to 4. There wasn't an... Oh, there's still this carrier here. There wasn't another anti-air build. It looks like the Death Flower is barely going to survive the Just a Dude attack. Spiffy DC breaks through. What was built on that? Just an anti-air build? Kinda need the Mega Tank so that nothing can just anymore. Ooh, we have the super lands at the top there. Ooh, landing over here is pretty darn good. And 2 landing up here doesn't matter that much. But this is a valuable little shot. Lower green backing up some of these battleships, and the other ones charging forward as, or the subs be charging forward. I think hits base. You have so many injured missiles over here. You have a rocket trying to lock the stolen base. At the same time, Steeler still has some battleships right off the coast. I can take it out. Take them out. Florgreen doesn't have them. No, Florgreen could have built another sub. Doesn't do so. Steeler does have these cruisers, which are kind of difficult to deal with for sure. But it's looking like Steeler's actually going to able to take down that main island. And knocking Flora Green out of the game should be pretty much GG. You'll no longer have to deal with the market crashes wiping your entire team's charge. And Flora Green is pretty wealthy number. Not as wealthy as Justitiam, 70k. Okay. Justitiam is still gonna. Okay. Justitiam does build a Neo tank up. Justitiam has so much money, but doesn't seem to be winning any fights, which is a really weird situation. DC Cruiser gets a nice hit on a sub. Okay, the Neo tank did survive turn. Or Green doing a better job fighting over here than over on their main island. Fortunately, the main island is the one that really matters, because if you lose the HQ, you lose the game, of course. So they're just going to start taking that airport. Oh, interesting. I didn't go for the mega tank strike here. I definitely would have, because I mean, you hit the mega tank, you'll do a lot of damage, but you're also going to be blocking this tile that Flora Green really wants to use for interrupting the airport. I guess the mega tank is just going to go for some longer term games here. Base Dangerously is mainly defending just a dude's island at this point. Their own island is also alive, although both harbors have been taken by La Deathflower. It has a battleship completely surrounded by enemy landers. It kills a rocket. Just a dude gets so lucky with these bomb replacements. Well, an anti-air did get built next to the bomber. Use Neo tank does clear that harbor. Getting some more captures in the center as well. This battleship can't go anywhere, so all it does is cover cities. No super used. So the battleship did not, or the bomber did not kill that anti-air. Doing their best, but they're kind of running out of steam up there. The boat sink. Oh, it's just a cruiser got killed by a sub. Rockets firing on Grit artillery. The mega tanks going here, get some first strikes. Decided to kill off that recon. Probably should have killed off the recon. Unless you can stand on the base with something that doesn't die. Oregon was not able to get a market crash off, so Steeler can go straight to the snipe attack. Both Grit's normal power and supers give the same bonus damage. The super just gives plus one more range than the normal power. So usually you'll see Grits using the normal power. Okay, so this is looking pretty nasty. The airport is going to get captured unless it's interrupted, but there are two battleships that can shoot it. We have some more infantry being dropped off as well. Based dangerously. Did manage to save just a dude's island over here. It's still kind of trying to fight in this region, but isn't much progress being made there yet. The Death Flowers carrier does get this one shot. Battle the bomber. Other bomber goes down just to anti-airs. All the landers get cleared up. So the Death Flower did manage to save their main island, at least so far, from just a dude, despite the dude's build. One tank dropped off. But that bomber is just going to get shot down again. We have a covering fire from Spiffy. This poor island. The reason this island gets hit by so many of these missiles is both that there's a bunch of infantry here, but it's also in the top left corner of the map. So if there's ever a tie for like how many infantry to hit or how many units to hit in general, it's always going to hit up here. So this is like the hot spot. And where was the value one? Where did that hit? It's okay, I guess. And it's the tiebreaker because it's choosing targets as it reads the map from as you would read a page. So the tiebreaker is whichever is the most on the top left. I'm not super sold on this bomber, but that's okay. It's possible that Steeler moved the missile away. Well, currently, Steeler doesn't even see it. Oh, now it is. Gone. Well, almost all the defending units have been wiped out. Now, a Mega Tank standing on the airport. I would not put my Mega Tank on the airport. Because if I'm Steeler, I want Flora Green to waste 20k plus money on building out of that airport that I just one-shot with my missile. Base Dangerously does get a victory march. Tries to take the harbor, but there's a hidden sub there. Do get to take some stuff on the the middle island area though. Nice. But that looks to be it. Although this incoming sub attack is kind of annoying for Steeler to deal with. Fortunately, Flora Green doesn't have as much of a naval presence to back it up on the other side yet, or anymore, I guess. This is the tax that Just a Dude has to pay for Base Dangerously saving the island. These properties also get snatched away. Deathflower successfully defending on all fronts currently. Let's go Grimm. Just a Dude also defending at the top thanks to Base Dangerously. But the attack at the bottom isn't too hot. These bombers are getting sent to their death. You're so rich, but one bomber after another. You gotta learn once you lose one. Biffy DC's got a sub fleet. Still trying to take that island from Just a Dude. Flora Green in very dire straits. You have Mega Tank spam. Couple ships being built. Base Dangerously can try and help defend with the rockets on the mainland, or on the rockets on the island. You have the Steeler snipe attack. Shoot all these Mega Tanks. Oh my gosh, the base gets sat on. Battleships are being attacked. A rocket gets built. This looks like the end is nigh for a green. Still managing to save the Just a Dude island. Let's trying to save Flora Green's island, but it's not looking as possible. The Death Flower managing to just kind of stay alive. Ooh, gets a cruiser killing a bomber hit. Builds an APC. Okay, we do have some rockets coming over for Just a Dude to help deal with this attack on the Death Flower. Probably needs to just have units build up rather than ant trail them forward. APDC attacking some of the Navy up there. Not making too much progress. Flora Green, however, is super dead. With the market crash, just build a battleship a turn currently. He'll stop once Steeler is able to get some more of his own battleships in range. Capture on the cap on the HQ has started, and yeah. One battleship is alive at 3. It will repair to 5. Flora Green should just be dead. We have double time. I'm not quite sure what that double time was for. We had it. Oh, the Death Flower is actually going to try and capture their harbor back. But Base Dangerously has a battleship ready to interrupt that. Just a Dude kills the battleship that was built at the harbor. Is hunting down. It's hunting for this this carrier that keeps shooting all of the bombers. Spiffy DC retreating from that island attack. Flora Green fighting as best they can. Down goes that battleship, and now there's nothing that you can even attack the HQ infantry, and it'll come down to whether or not Flora Green resigns or lets this HQ cap go through. If Flora Green lets the HQ cap go through, then everything that Flora Green owns building wise will become Steelers. If Flora Green resigns, then all of it will just become neutral. Which is a very big difference. The Death Flower has managed to survive despite being almost half the income and Grimm versus Nell. It's very impressive. Flora Green doing their best. Flora Green doesn't resign, just gives it to Steeler. So Steeler goes from 46k income this turn to 98k in a single turn. And all of the production that Flora Green had is now Steelers. So we're going to start seeing a lot of units being built. Boom. The units that Flora Green had do not become Steelers, though. That would be absolutely absurd. Base Dangerously is like, oh my gosh, these cities are suddenly enemies. Starts capturing them. There's nothing that Steeler can do about that currently. The Death Flower is going to survive here. Usually, people will just resign when one of their allies gets taken out like that, but it looks like we're going to fight on. This dude's still trying to take out the Death Flower's main island, but it's been holding out so well so far. Spiffy DC is looking to be a little bit in trouble, but there's nothing coming for the island right now, so it's okay. Steeler has a massive fleet, so it just kind of moves down and takes out Base Dangerously's island here. Kind of like that. Base Dangerously is going to be able to take some of Steeler's newly captured properties in the center. But he's going to have a heck of a time defending that island against the huge Steeler navy. The Death Flower That carrier has so many kills. It might get discovered this turn and have a sub attack it. Oh, a sub has discovered it, but there hasn't been one to attack it. The sub is not hidden, by the way, so the rocket can shoot it next turn. DC now defending their island, but there isn't too much of an attacking force coming at it, so it should be fine. Steelers also having to defend against Justitiam on a newly acquired island. There's there's a rocket over here to interrupt this capture. Steeler isn't going to be able to get that base quite yet, but it's mighty close. Interrupt it. And that's a pretty good navy. Moving down over there. The carrier moved away. The rocket probably should have fired on the sub first. But it is what it is. We have a knuckle duster in to end the turn. Okay. Just for the stats. A bunch of mechs hanging out on that island. Okay. 50 DC controlling their waters over here. Steeler stopping Justitiam from taking the stuff, and then, oh my gosh, we have the grit power and blam, 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 blam. The indirects fire. Join cap on the base, and now there's nothing that can interrupt it. The main problem for Steeler's navy is it takes quite a while now for it to actually get to an enemy's HQ island. It's going to be some long trips. And it looks like Base Dangerously is setting up to do just like a last stand holdout in the corner there. With like an enormous air fleet and navy hiding out in the reefs. Just a dude. Being a dude. 50 DC. Oh! Well, here the missiles are, are softening up the fleet that's going to try and defend Base Dangerously's main island. Steeler starts moving down. We'll be able to support the Death Flower in their holdout against just a dude. It might be able to just take out just a dude because there isn't really that many defenses set up over here. And once the carrier gets in range of this airport, there's a lot of space for battleships, which can be produced right here to just lay siege. So just a dude looks like they're going to be the next one taken out. I don't think they've quite realized the straits they're in. 50 DC, just doing their best to control the water up there. Steeler's starting to get into position to lock down just a dude's main island. Have some support units to keep the Blood Death Flower alive. Base Dangerously does go after that sub attack. For the most part, it's just kind of hiding out in that corner, which does mean that at this point, the two Team A players are kind of on their own. There's no more real teamwork going on there, while Steeler is working with all members of the team. That's a very good advantage. Oh, there's so many naval units. The center has been conquered. Soon the comm tower will finally swap over to Steeler. Base Dangerously is just going to try and be a little corner of death It will definitely be a real pain to fight all of that, but if Spiffy DC is still in the game at that point, we could just see lots and lots of Rachel missiles clear out that entire top left corner. A 100 units is the limit, so Stealer is basically there. Yeah, we have the siege already set up. Just a dude should fall pretty quickly because there isn't any real unit infrastructure set up. There's no like army of subs or anything to try and defend this incoming navy. Stealer's having to delete units to build units. It is possible that Base Dangerously could have like a huge army suddenly attack Stealer's main island, and if there's like a bunch of transport copters with it, it could overwhelm Stealer, and then like a victory march wins the game kind of deal. Just because Stealer has a lot of navy down here. I don't think that's what Base Dangerously is planning, because I don't see any transport copters, and you'd have to use transport copters. There's too many limited landing spaces. Okay. Stealer's clearing out pretty much everything in the center, and has now started landing on Just a Dude's mainland. That's 4 battleships. Carrier. Only really need 1 carrier because there's just the 1 aircraft to cover. Oh, Base Dangerously is starting to move out against Le Death Flower. Le Death Flower always forced into these defensive positions. Is getting some more money in the center now too. Has successfully defended with help from Stealer against Just a Dude. Now what's going to have is going to see this giant Base Dangerously army on that island. Yeah, Just a Dude wasn't able to do too much. It kind of just stuck on this very cramped island and outranged by all of Stealer's indirect units. This is part of why I don't think naval maps are very great. This is just kind of what happens. Your island gets outranged, and then all your production gets wiped out. Base Dangerously might be trying to swing down here, but the attack is very much detected. It's kind of slow. So Stealer should be able to set up enough defenses against it. Just a dude in a lot of trouble. In fact, Just a Dude might just get routed. We have a sub standing on the seaport. A lot of indirect units. We have the power used by Stealer. We have an impenetrable wall, at least for 1 turn, because there's nothing that can reveal the subs. So close. Just a Dude is not routed yet. The Death Flower. What did Base Dangerously do this turn? Oh, just ran into a bunch of subs. I see. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Just a Dude. Neo tank, build a mega tank. Fight over here. Spiffy DC really wants to get the super. I mean, there's a lot of boats up there that could enjoy being hit by missiles. Have the sub wall reconstructed. Stealer looks like Hold out. Mega Tank doesn't die, so there's no threat of a rout this turn. Stealer might not be thinking about routing. Just gonna go for the HQ really slowly with 5 health infantry. I mean, taking the HQ is definitely more valuable than routing because you get property. Oof, base dangerously. Only move in the turn is to kill a recon. Oh my gosh. The Death Flower finally on the offensive. Oh. Just a dude doesn't even attack. It's just a turn skip, and we are going to have a rout, assuming Stealer kills this Mega Tank. Stealer not going to kill the Mega Tank. No, Stealer's greedy. Does outrange all of those battleships. Starts leading units. Yeah, the battleships just leave. They refuse to kill the Mega Tank. It's going to be up to the Death Flower to kill it off and spare just a dude the HQ cap. Base dangerously just skips the turn. Does the Death Flower do it? Does the Death Flower do the death blow? There's a Mega Tank, you can kill it. Oh, what? What is that? Shoots it with the battleship down to 2. No respect. Just a dude builds a Mega Tank, ends the turn. Spiffy DC moved in. Stealer captures all of Just a Dude's stuff. And then, I mean, base dangerously is just standing there at this point. So, kind of gets attacked. We got units being deleted so they can be built closer to the front lines. And then base dangerously resigns. GG. Once Grit got a large enough navy, there was nothing that could be done. And the game is over. Well played, well played. Just in time too. It was 2 hours. I hope everyone enjoyed. Almost 200k income, it's true. 186,000. And the two allies together, just over half. Hope everyone enjoyed. Here is an apple. I believe I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks for watching.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's